Here we go. Let's go, Jared. Pulling for you, buddy. Well, people, how you doing today? Happy day 14. Head day, day 14. Boy, haven't we had a doozy these past 24 hours. Today being September 11th and all that stuff. Wow. Okay. You know, we got that horrific tragedy that happened yesterday. It makes me think about a lot of things. And man, I'll tell you what, I was all worked up last night, you know. Yeah, of course, the tragedy and them showing the videos and Charlie Kirk and then on top of it, all the reactions from the people that really, you know, pushed me over the edge as far as being like, what the hell? And this anxiety and a tremendous amount of disheartening to see that people's reactions were like that and they felt confident to post that stuff online. Wow. It was a lot to take in, you know, a lot to take in. And, you know, I couldn't sleep all night, had me going like crazy. So I got out my Dutch oven and went ahead and made some bread right here. You think it'll be ready? Can you hear that? Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, this is some cheddar jalapeno sourdough bread. Excited about it, you know, love that kind of stuff. But I had to do something, man. I had to do something physically to process that energy. We talk about this every day, people. I hope you realize that. I hope you understand what I'm trying to communicate to you, okay? We go back to the same three questions. How's your fire? Is your fire stoked? How's your critical eye? You got it locked down? How's that impulse control? How's your schedule? Okay? Now, yesterday we had an injection of anxiety, of social stress, okay? And we had to disperse that. At least I did. I had to get rid of that. So I had to work out, take a walk. I had to bake some bread. I had to do something to process all that and get it outside of my body, okay? Because I couldn't draw. You know, I was all worked up about it. And I've experienced this before. Not on that level, just on personal things, you know. I've experienced that kind of stuff before, and it took me a long time to understand that you have to process this stuff. You cannot try to complete a task with that energy inside of you, with that anxiety, with that dread, with whatever the hell that was. That disheartening, you know, that crushing feeling of heartbreak. You can't go create with it. It's too much. It's too stressful, okay? So you got to be kind to yourself. Lock that critical eye in the hole. Use impulse control. Give yourself permission that day to go off and do something to be kind to yourself, to make some bread, to get some ice cream, to go walk around the golf course, to go play around the golf, to go horseback riding, to go work the heavy bag. You know, it's okay. It's okay. That's what compassion and empathy is, okay? And first and foremost, you have to show that to yourself. I have to show that to myself, right? We have to take care of ourselves so that we can then take care of other people as need be, your loved ones, right? So, you know, yesterday, crazy things happened, got those crazy responses, and I made a crazy cartoon, you know, right here. Got this crazy cartoon, right? And if you want to see it more, you can go check out my Twitter. It's up there. Posted it up there. But the thing that I really wanted to focus on, aside from the fact that this tragedy happened and this crazy person or whoever, this group of people, I don't know, took a father from their family, which is terrible, tremendously terrible, is the reaction of society that I'm seeing. These people who, like I said, felt completely justified coming out and saying the most vile things. And then as soon as you criticize them or vote a certain way, they go ahead and excommunicate you for your beliefs, or, you say something in your family and they tell you you're not part of my family anymore. Don't come to Christmas dinner. What the hell is that stuff, man? I remember a time when, people still were family. If your daughter brought home a guy who was a big pothead or whatever with long hair, they still had him come over to Christmas dinner. They didn't excommunicate her for that. You see what I'm saying? They kept her. And where's the compassion for Charlie Kirk's family, for Charlie Kirk, for his kids that are going to be growing up without a father? That's tremendous, and there's all kinds of stuff going around about it. And I don't know what's going on with the whole situation, and it's too much for me to even think about or handle. But I do know that society and women should respond with more compassion than this crazy mockery. Okay, so I'm sitting here watching all this, and I'm trying to process through it, as we all are. And I'm thinking about what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to do my schedule, but I sit down and do my work and it ain't working. I make the cartoon and I'm like thinking about what we're going to do today, and I'm all worked up, still worked up today, So then I say, hey, give yourself permission. It's okay to take a day off. It's okay to go and draw some things, doodle some stuff that maybe requires less focus. Draw something that you love. Draw some characters. Draw some cartoons. Draw something that takes your mind off of what it is that's going on in the world, because this right here, this sketchbook, this right here, this is the world that you can control. This is the place that you can escape and get your bearings again and reestablish yourself. You can stoke your fire. You can build back up your emotional energy. You can control the critical eye and keep out those outside pressures. And you can maintain your schedule so that you can get some form of traction again in your life. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we do this, people. So let's do that today, okay? Give yourself permission to go get some ice cream, all right? Give yourself some permission to start to bring some pieces of happiness back into your life. Now, I'm not saying don't forget about none of this stuff. Of course not, right? But we can't tolerate that, right? I can't tolerate those kind of people in my life. I can't tolerate that cruelty in my life, in my world. So I'm going to push that out. I'm going to focus on something that's making me happy so that I can transcend and go through all of this, okay? That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to push that out in my sphere of influence to the people around me, because that's what matters. I'm going to make a cartoon and put it out there so people can talk about it or think about it. Just like Ibai Canales did. He put out a cartoon. It was fantastic, talking about gun rights and how quite obviously the next step here is to say, oh, we got to limit gun rights and all this kind of stuff. And, it's a fantastic cartoon. I reposted it. And there's people out there reposting his cartoon, got 600,000, 1 million followers, and they're just stealing it to ride this wave to clout chase. And that's despicable. Cartoonists, artists, poets, these are the people that we look to, that we need in times of tragedy, right? They feel what's going on, and they're able to coalesce all of those emotions and information that they're receiving and put it into a cogent image that cuts straight to the nerve of the situation, that crystallizes what we're all thinking in a way that we need. Do not rob them of their work. That's horrible. That's crazy. And that's kind of the dehumanization of our society, so that people can chase clout, so that people can get more clicks, more likes. And that's what this whole alchemical process is going on right now, to change and transition our society into something less human, into something more robotic. It's not an upgrade. It's not progressive. It's not better. We're moving away from who we are as people. We're moving away from our family. That's how I kind of look at things. That's my red line of do not cross, my dividing line, or my Rubicon. It's the 3-generational family? Do we support the 3-generational family, or are we working to destroy it, to break it apart, to take parental rights away, to excommunicate people, to create factions, to divide? We should be unifying the 3-generational families. That's what's designed to work in our social order. That's what we should be conserving, the family, okay? Not about what you believe or don't believe, but we should all stand in unison on the ideas and the topics about the family, okay? And that's what happened here. A family was destroyed. A family was broken apart. A father was taken. You know, there's nothing that you can say that's going to help his kids this coming Christmas, next Christmas, so on and so forth. His wife, their anniversary. So we should protect the family. We should keep the families intact. Not 2 generations, 3 generations. Kids need their parents, parents need their grandparents, okay? That's how it needs to be. So that's what I was thinking about, okay? Now, I wanted to structure this conversation today to mirror what I'm trying to demonstrate to you, okay? So I got all of the up front, right? All that emotional and anxiety up front. And now we're going to move to try to process that, because I got something in the mail today and it helped stoke my fire. It helped to get me excited. Okay, I ordered this book maybe a year ago, right? Because it was a Kickstarter or whatever. But it was Hal Foster's Prince Valiant, the Sketchbook collection. Check this book out. Look how big this bad boy is. That's a pretty big book, right? And what this book is a guy who did Prince Valiant. Is a cartoonist that did him Prince Valiant in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, I think. And here's some of his work right here. Now, isn't that tremendous? Didn't that just arrive at the perfect time to give me a little pick-me-up when I needed it the most? You know, give me a reminder of what's important and relight that passion so I can move forward, so I can regain my footing. And the fantastic about this book is it's full of letters. And all of his thoughts about how he sketched things out and how he created his sketchbook in order to then go ahead and create the final product of his cartoon. Now, isn't that tremendous? So we're going to get some insight right here on how a master of his craft of the generation. You could even make the argument that he was probably the most prolific or best artist on the cartoon strip of the golden age of cartoon strips. So that's fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dive into this, and I'm going to use this to escape, to stoke my fire, to get excited about reestablishing my schedule and regrouping for tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm stoked about that. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to jump right into this book right here today. I'm going to use this book right here to go ahead and do a little escape, okay? And study some things, and regroup, get my mind back, get my energy right, use that impulse control to block out those things that disturbed me today, and I'm going to get back up and running for tomorrow. And so that's what I want you to do. Go ahead, be kind to yourself today. Show yourself some compassion, okay? And control your world, okay? Like I made the bread, like I am doing these other things. You do those things. Maybe you need a walk or whatever. Now, what I wanted to say too is don't forget, I am going to be doing on Sunday more pickling. So send me your pickle recipes and your pickled egg recipes or whatever the hell it is that you're pickling. I already had Press Me Bro shoot me a couple recipes, and I had Chess Griner shoot me a jalapeno recipe yesterday that I'm really excited to try too. So I want you guys to go ahead and have a great day today. Be kind to yourself, treat yourself nice, and get out there and kick some ass. Now let's go, okay? Let's go.